So guys, you'll have to excuse my voice for this video. I, of course, did not make it a week back into work without catching the back to school cold. I knew it was going to happen, but I couldn't imagine it happening in the first 3.5 days of being back, which is pretty funny. I'm doing all right, but my voice, I'm still a little congested, so bear with me, everyone. We got some really great questions for this inbox this week, so let's jump into it. Nick the Pick asks, for a long time now, I've been thinking about someone I had feelings for. I'm ready to let her go, but sometimes I clutch my pillow at night and imagine that I'm holding her. We're not on bad terms, but from my perspective so far, she's the kind of person to push people away. I don't know what's up with her or where she's at, so I think it's best thing to do is to let her go. Got any tips? I'm still looking to date one day once I've healed. Honestly, as someone who just went through a pretty big breakup, a massive one, a life-changing breakup in January, I would say that it's going to be one of the harder things you do, obviously. The hardest thing I've done in my life is forcing myself to fall out of love with someone that I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with. But the thing is, it gets better. Time heals everything. What I would do, clearly, if you're on this wavelength and you're feeling this, then, that's obviously the right thing to do, is to, move on and move forward with your life. Focus on building you. Make sure you're happy with yourself. Because a relationship can never be reliant on one person making the other one happy. So I always like to use the cake analogy. Your girlfriend or, for the girl, their boyfriend cannot be an ingredient in their cake. It's got to be the cherry on top of the already perfectly made cake. So I would focus on you, dive into hobbies that you enjoy, hang out with your friends, build yourself up, and take that time to process through your emotions of it, because it is going to suck, but it gets better. It does get better. Every day it gets a little bit better. Some days you might fall back and think about her and be like, man, this sucks. But, those days start getting fewer and fewer and fewer as time moves on. So that way, like you said, when you do meet that next girl, if you focus on you, build yourself up, you'll be ready for it. And you'll be a better man for it. You'll be a better person. So that's my advice. Focus on you. Know that you're going to go through the emotions. Some days are going to be great. Some days are not. But time heals everything, man. And you're going to be all good. So best of luck with it. The Clown asks, what gives you the drive to keep up the grinds of daily life? Honestly, this is something that in my early 20s I struggled a lot with. I was, quote-unquote lazy, as some people might say. But now, as I reach my mid-20s and further on, I've just realized that if you're going to do stuff in life, there's no reason to half-ass it. You may as well give it 110%. And if you're not willing to give that thing 100%, then it's probably something that's not worth doing in the first place. So for me, I always, I want to maximize my life. I absolutely want to maximize every second I have, because we only have one life to live. So for me, with my job, that's number one for me. Obviously, besides my relationships and stuff like that, outside, my, family, friends, if I'm dating someone, that obviously comes first. But after that, with work, I want to be the best I can be because I'm passionate about my job. If you're someone who's working a job that's, just there for the paycheck, I can understand wanting to just clock in, just BS, then go out. But if you care about your job and passionate about it, I want to be the best. I want to be there for my students. I want to make sure they know that everything is all good. That was my computer, by the way, not yours, with that little pop-up sound. But for my students, I want to be there for them. I want to make sure that they get a good education. I want to make school the most memorable time for them. I want to be the teacher that they remember in 20 years. Be like, man, he made an impact on my life. He was there for me when I needed him. He showed me that education and school can be fun and learning is fun. That's what I want. So I want to be the best in that. At the gym, what's the point of going if you're not going 110%? You may as well just not even go at that point. Always give everything 100% or more if you can, and you're going to get the best results of it. So I feel like that's the best thing to do. And the fact that I'm just not ever really, I'm not going to say ever really happy with my situation, but I always am striving for more. I feel like that gives your life purpose. In the gym, I want to lift heavier. I want to, look better. At work, I want to do better. In my personal life, I want to be a better person, a better man. So that's what really gives me the drive to keep up the grind of daily life, because it's the small things you do that stack up over time that build your life and build you into the person that you're going to be remembered for. So the Master Spartan asks, why did people complain about open world in Mario Kart? Like, what did they expect? Rob Luigi store or something? So I have probably a very controversial opinion on this. And I'm not someone who's scared to speak my mind and have people get upset about it. I have a Switch 2. I got the Mario Kart World bundle. I think Mario Kart World is fantastic. I have about 50 hours into it right now. I play with my friends, and it's a lot of fun. It is not my favorite Mario Kart game. Mario Kart Wii is still my favorite. But it is a fantastic Mario Kart game. It's definitely up there. I think I like it more than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, to be honest. But why are people complaining about the open world? I think, and this might take a little bit to answer, I think there's 3 types of people who play video games. I think there's like the people that play like some mobile games, you know, maybe play 1 or 2 games, dabble, but don't really care at all. Then there's the casual video game player that, you know, plays video games a few times a week, maybe every day after work or something like that. Kind of keeps up with news going on, you know, talks to his friends about video games, things like that. But doesn't really take it more serious than that. I feel like that's what most people that play video games fall in that category. That's what I am. That's what I think most people on this channel are. And then there's the third pillar, which is like the hardcore gamer. You know, if you look at their Twitter account or, you know, their Instagram handle, their bios, they'll say that, you know, I'm a gamer, a PlayStation fan, dude. You know, those people that make video games their entire life and personality, I think those people, and you could just tell from online discourse, are very upset at Nintendo right now. Just really pissed off. Just feel personally attacked because the game was $10 more, and, you know, the game key card stuff. You know, you could pick your controversy. And those people, because Mario Kart World is a fantastic game. So those people are looking for the smallest thing to nitpick about the game in order to complain and say, well, this isn't worth this price, and or, you know, whatever it is to, you know, make their argument sound better. So if you look at the game, the racing is awesome. The knockout tour is fantastic. That's like the best thing to be added in Mario Kart in a while. And for me, I always just viewed the open world thing as just something to do in between races. Obviously, if they were going to make that like a crazy thing, it is very bare bones. It is. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, I go on free roam all the time and excited. It is bare bones. But I think a lot of people are complaining about that because they can't really complain about Knockout Tour. They can't complain about the gameplay because the gameplay is great. So I think they're focusing on that in order to spread this hatred because the hardcore gamers just have this vendetta against Nintendo where most normal people would just not buy the Switch 2, and that's about it, if they have a problem. But these people are very vocal about it. They, you know, make the YouTube videos. They go on X and complain about it, Twitter, and that's why I think people are complaining about it. I think it's because that's the weakest link of the game, so that's what they're latching onto the most, instead of talking about the good parts of the game. Nikarov asks, hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good besides having a cold. How are you finding the new Infinite update, and also which game do you think has the best overall soundtrack? Personally, ODST is my favorite. It has the best range and the most emotion. For the Infinite update, as you can see, I'm playing it in this gameplay. I think the Vestige Carbine is fantastic. I really like the gun. I like the way it feels and everything like that and plays. I think it's great. But overall, I like Infinite now. My biggest thing with it right now is the aiming. For some reason, the aim assist is just off in this game compared to like Halo 3 and, you know, the older Bungie Halos. So I like the update, but Infinite for me is always going to have that little bit of a black mark on it because of the aiming for me. And which soundtrack is my favorite? I would have to say, oh man, probably Halo 2 is my favorite soundtrack from all of them, but ODST is fantastic. Tyler Mack asks, what is your favorite pre-workout that you've ever used? Mine was a local one made in Texas called Crackhead. It got banned a while back. Keep up the awesome work, brother. Hey, I appreciate it. I'll try. My favorite pre-workout, man, probably the original Jacked formula that got banned. That was absolutely insane. Like, absolutely crazy. Like, the tingles you got, the hype levels you got with that, that is my favorite pre-workout ever. Now, if I need it, I don't really use pre-workout that much anymore, but I'll drink a white Monster from time to time now that I'm older. I've been using some smelling salts recently. I know that's not a pre-workout, but, you know, when I'm maxing on bench or squat or deadlift, me and my friends will rip some smelling salts, and that's a crazy experience if you haven't done that. It's quite fantastic. But yeah, that's the original Jacked formula is my favorite pre-workout, and, you know, that one you're doing, that local pre-workout, sounds pretty sick as well. Nomadic Strength asks, have fun at work, bud. I start school on Monday, honestly ready to go back. Good luck with that, and I am having fun besides getting sick. My question, do you think the pendulum for video games, shooters in particular, will swing back to a more grounded experience? Battlefield 6 seems to be very successful right now with the approach, Helldivers as well. Hoping Halo sees this success and goes back to its roots as a military sci-fi, kill the colorful asshole aliens kind of game like the first three. I am also enjoying Battlefield 6. I think it's fantastic. Honestly, I think it is going to 100% rely on what Call of Duty does. I hate to say that, but I think you can get... I think a lot of the shooters right now, like Counter-Strike 2 seems to be a little more grounded like that. Some of the skins are pretty crazy, but it's not too much. I would love to see Halo go back to its roots. Honestly, like I said, it all depends on what COD does. Is at least for the more mainstream, like console shooters and PC shooters as well. Not counting Counter-Strike or Valorant or something like that. But I think the market always goes where COD goes. So if Battlefield 6 is successful and Black Ops 7 or the next Call of Duty game returns to a more grounded, like getting rid of all like the Beavis and Butthead skins and all that stuff, I think most FPS will return to the roots then, because I feel like the FPS genre kind of follows the lead of COD. At least the casual shooter follows the lead of Call of Duty. So this next one from Dimothy, I read your comment, and I don't know if I want to necessarily read the whole thing on the video for you, but I'll read the last part. I feel like this whole situation is going to snowball into a great schism, which is something I want to avoid. I've lost respect for those who didn't want him to be gone at first and got the feeling that they were taking the path of least resistance, but I'm also conflicted about whether or not I should have been more empathetic or moral. I'll be honest, and this one is just specifically for you as well. I think you have the right mindset. There are some things in life that are unforgivable, and what you described in this comment I would classify as unforgivable. So you had the right idea to just completely cut ties with this person and looking at people in a different way. You said you lost respect for those who didn't want him gone at first. That's completely justifiable. So you are 100% right in your thought process with that. There are things that are unforgivable, and you made the right call, man. I absolutely made the right call. So hopefully everything gets better with that for you, and don't second guess yourself. You made the right choice to look at that situation and say, what the fuck? And then move on. And for anyone else who wasn't immediately, what the fuck? For you to lose a little bit of respect for them, 100% makes sense. So I got two questions. Hope you're doing well. You're the man, my dude. As always, how are you doing? That's what matters most. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I hope you both are doing well as well. I'm doing great. Besides being sick and missing the gym from this, it's very annoying. But, you know, work started back up, so I'm happy with that. Doing pretty good. Life is starting to balance out and even out. Hopefully this college stint I'm in, going back for another degree, can go quickly and successfully. But other than that, man, I'm doing great. I'm just chilling and just, you know, trying to be the best I could be. So hopefully y'all do good, man. Thanks. So that'll wrap up this inbox video. Thank you for submitting your questions. I hope I helped in some way. Some of the questions, you know, getting very deep. Even one that I didn't even want to share the whole screenshot of. So for that person, I hope I helped you with that. So I appreciate it. I hope your week goes well. I hope everything is going great for you guys. Keep pushing at life, man. That's just, I don't know. I don't know how to end these videos. Keep pushing at life. Keep striving for more, man. Because, you know, if you put your all into it, you will be shocked with the outcomes you can get. Just keep pushing forward. Stay positive and have a great week, guys.